don't y'all realize that this is what dudes do? Why do y'all fall for this shit over and over again? Oh, he was like this in the beginning. Have an understanding that he's going to be like this in the beginning. Pay attention to the second phase of the relationship that you're in, whether you're a man or a woman. Everybody does it. Women do the same shit. Why do y'all fall for it? Because just like you said, you call her, being victimized by this.
Sound like victim.
It sounds like, yeah. I didn't want to say she was a victim, but men understand that women are going to placate and act like, they're not a hoe or they're not this or not that. But at the end of the day, we don't demonize the women for that.
We do. On. No, niggas do it too. You up here act. You ain't never met niggas. They be in the comment section bitter as fuck.
They ain't got no women. That's
they
different.
do. I'm telling you,
the men who have not been in relationships do that.
The worst. I'm being hyperbole, but the worst type of man to me is a man that actually tried. He actually loved that woman. He was actually ready to commit to that woman. He was 100% invested, and she broke his heart.
Yes.
Now that man, now that man turns into that man that's over course correcting. Now that's where the bitterness comes from. Now that's where the womanizing comes from. That's where I don't love these hoes no more. Like we always think that men, hold on, let me finish. We always think that these men just are bred this way by their mamas, and some of them are. But some of these people came in relationships with a pure heart and they left cold, just like women. And then, so now when you get into the men that are in these comment sections, the men that are rooting for women to fail, the men that feel like in relationships, women are second-class citizens, you better not really love them like that. It's just your turn, bro. This is because it's an internalized hurt that they haven't healed from. So I believe just like women may, and I'm gonna go back to another point that you made. Well, why would you say we do it too? I'm gonna tell you this. There is this romanticization of relationships that we fall into, right? So we fall into the lust of it. We fall into, the story of it, how that person made you feel. And we both are trying to get that old thing back. It's like a drug. It's that high you want to keep chasing. And here's the thing with women and men, we have to be realistic. When you said, I found this person and we believed you who you were who you are. Oftentimes people are not presenting themselves to us. They are, but we're putting other things on this person that they didn't say, do. Mm-hmm. We putting our own ideas about where we want them to be. We are planning our futures together with this person. And so now, yes, did this person present their red flags automatically when you first started the date? Probably not. But did we know that they were there?
But sometimes it's not even like the red flags. They always talk about, the reason why marriages break up is because of income, is from finances, it's about money. When myself personally, and I don't know, we got to pull the stats on this one day, it's really about marriages are failing because people do not know how to grow in parallel with each other. One person's growing, one person stops. You don't know how to play the back fiddle while I'm doing this, while I'm, doing what I have to do. And I think that like not growing in parallel makes you stay in a relationship because you are now searching for the person that you had before. You searching for that same person, but the growth of it is growing in parallel to each other. Maybe it's like, hey babe, I want to start a hot dog stand. Okay, so I'm gonna work and then you gonna stay home and then we gonna do, it's the growing in parallel. And a lot of people they're not able to withhold that in their relationship.
I think that was two different points that was made during she came with another one and he was starting. It was like maybe more than two, it was several.
Is it like the archetype of how somebody, like what somebody's villain arc is as a man? Like he gets hurt and then he becomes a villain? I don't know if I have to mind it out in my head if that's the majority of men. Is that what actually happens? And what makes a man a villain? Like what type of behavior would be considered villainous behavior?
I think probably selfish behavior, probably like moving without caring about others, maybe. Like for example, when we a player, it's like I don't really care, like, how shorty feel. It's just like, yo, I'm moving around. I don't really care about, what they got going on. Maybe that, might play a part.
But real dope, even in that archetype, she's a willing participant. She's having sex with you without any commitment, without any agreement. Mm-hmm. So how has he become a villain in that instance? You see what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think when it comes to, like, I know typically as men, well, I'm not gonna say as men, I'm say as well, at least for my experience, I knew exactly how women was going to act after we did what we did, right? After I knew exactly how they was going to act, but I didn't care, right? I knew they was going to I knew they was going to like the fuck out of me, but I didn't care, and I think most men probably don't, And we kind of, it's like we always know what we doing. We always kind of like got these puppet strings where it's like, all right, like I'm gonna deal with you for a few weeks, for maybe a month. I'm gonna become a little bit inconsistent, so you can start looking elsewhere and get off my line. And then I'm gonna come back probably 4 months from now. What's up, big head? You won't try and but I'm gonna penetrate whatever type of defense you give me, and I'm gonna be right back in there. And it's like, I don't know. I think that's just an example. I'm trying to process it with y'all.
No, that ass. I catch a drift. I just wonder, is that because of lack of her self-control though? So we mutually have sex, which is mutually beneficial, right? And then she has a connection out beyond the sex, right? But you never told her it was anything else but that. I just don't see how, because of what I'm questioning is villain. You see what I mean? That's why I'm kind of looking at it in that way.
But that is villainous though. Like you have to think. So you as a man know when a woman is interested in you and you have zero intentions on doing anything but having a physical relationship with her. You say that she's a willing participant. You know that she likes you. And so that she can maintain proximity to you. She just kind of allows certain things. But you as a man do not care about how that woman is attaching herself to you. You do not care enough to tell her, hey, this ain't, I know you like me, but this not what I'm on.
What are the certain things?
I'm just here physically.
What are the certain things though that you said that she's doing certain things? What are the certain things?
What do you mean? I just
think she's doing certain things.
What allows certain things to happen is what I'm saying.
What?
She allows men to just get away with ignoring her or whatever the case may be because she likes something in you. I don't listen. Women like different things and different men. Women let different things slide. I don't know. I'm just saying this is a blanket statement.
She's saying that women allow men not to be committed to them, right? That's what you're saying.
Let's not act like men are going to be committed without getting sex anyway. That's not going to happen. I don't know why we play those games.
I think we got to make a distinction though, and between. So I'm not saying that the man is wrong, and I'm not absolving the woman of accountability.
Right.
She has her own place to be held accountable for herself. Yeah. You were stupid. You're going into these situations and you're not thinking. You're giving up all of your leverage and all that. She got to be accountable for herself. But I'm just kind of processing. All right, what was our villain era? What was our villain origin story? Because when we're going about things and we like, of course you're not wrong. You can't be sent to jail for it because you're not technically wrong. You didn't break no laws or nothing like that. But were you operating in a way where you didn't care about the people around you? Which is like, we all live in a society. If I go outside and I drop trash on the ground, it's like, I'm not caring about my neighbor, if that makes sense. Like if you're moving selfishly, I think that can be considered like maybe a villainous, story.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's part of what I was saying. Like that this girl likes you and you don't plan on doing it.
She's leveraging, but she's trying to leverage sex to get a relationship. And see, that's the part that is being misconstrued, right? So then, but the key is, that's a terrible game to play, right?
I didn't say that it was.
No, 100%. But here's the thing, right? As we have a constructive back and forth, right? To where you say you agree that she's leveraging sex to access a relationship from that man, right? I can't then put a negative jacket on him, right? Because she think that's going to get the relationship that is not even confirmed for her. You can't you can't, but you can't then put villain on him. Feel me? That's what real dope and I were conversing about the villain portion. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying if there was, because I don't know, right? I'm just saying, like, if I were to identify it, That is what I'm identifying it as. I'm not absolving
That's a close
the
correlation.
girl for it. Yeah, I'm not absolving the girl from anything. I'm just saying what is. Like, I'm just stating like objective facts
If you
about
try
what.
to like identify it, you would kind of put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so both of them have the responsibility in that. Like, she has a responsibility to not be played and not leverage sex for a relationship, because you know that's what young girls think. They think I got the best out here and he gonna fall in love with this once he get it, blah blah blah. Like that
Should be trash. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it does happen. And so yes, she is at fault for that, but he is also at fault for not being like, I ain't even on that type of time. If you want to stay and if you want to keep giving it to me, that's one thing, but I ain't gonna never be with you. That I'm talking about black and white. Men have a responsibility to do that, but women also have a responsibility to keep their legs closed sometimes. Yeah, sure.
And if I can give you the vice versa, right? The vice versa would be if there was a man who was leading with his money because he's stupid, right? And he think that's going to get the woman that he want, and that's going to get a woman to like him. And a woman is there like, I'm gonna play the game and I'm gonna take all your money, I'm gonna suck you dry, I'm gonna play the game, right? When she looks back at herself, she should hold herself accountable, at least mentally, of like, who was I at this point in time? How have I changed? How have I gotten better? Because I was just using men for their money. I knew he liked me. I didn't give a fuck about that. He led with his money. I thought he was corny, and I still, took advantage.